I don't think people realize how crazy this is. Look at this. New Bitcoin produced by miners, 900 yesterday. Bitcoins purchased by ETFs yesterday, over 10,000. We're gonna be running through the latest cryptocurrency developments, some mining stuff, Bitcoin stuff, but basically, is the Bitcoin crypto bull run confirmed? Is this the moment that we've been waiting for, or is it not? Just look at this again. Look at this again. Okay, this has been stressing me out so much, right? You always feel like you don't have enough coins, you don't have enough size, you don't have your positions out there exactly where you want them. You look at the market, I mean, it's ripping. We got $2 trillion market cap. Coins are up huge over the last 7 days. Bitcoin alone is up 22%. That is a massive pump for a massive $1 trillion asset. I mean, we look at Doge, it's up 50% in the last 7 days. I love that. I got a bag of Doge. I got some Dogecoin miners. So I think when people are going to want this crypto exposure, right? And they're going to be like, dude, I can't afford Bitcoin. What's like the next thing? They're going to look at Ethereum. And honestly, Ethereum's gotten quite pricey and it's incredibly expensive to use because Ethereum sucks and has never scaled. Granted, I love DeFi and all the things built right in that ecosystem, but the actual use, right? The expense is crazy. Bad user experience as far as fees go. And I think that's where a lot of people will start going down the list, and then they're gonna be like, okay, how about Doge? And it'll go to $1, and then I'll be rich, right? That's like the TikToker mindset. I was hustling all around the farm yesterday with Alexa, deploying some new miners, making sure our miners are squared away, working on some management, and basically I've been building the VoskCoin Bitcoin and crypto mining farm over the last bull run, and that's where I've spent a lot of my time and a lot of my money. So these are most of the Bitcoin miners I have right now. And so, yesterday I mined 0.00384 Bitcoin. So it's been a fun, interesting, challenging endeavor. The Bitcoin halving is only 51 days away, estimated. This can fluctuate a little bit because it's an algorithm, but to put it simply, it's coming next month. Unless something really weird happens to the chain. Right now, Bitcoin is putting out $51 million in newly mined coins per day. It's harder than ever. It is harder than ever to mine a Bitcoin. One thing that's going to happen, we're seeing new miners release, new miners hit the market, things that have been in these manufacturers' back pocket, or they're trying to rush them to release. Prices are starting to go crazy, right? These KS5s earn like over $200 a day each, but wow, what a premium to pay for that. So it's very interesting. Bitcoin miner prices in general have not pumped in line with the Bitcoin price pump. One of the reasons is due to there's just a lot of these that have been manufactured. Miners always lag behind Bitcoin price, and the halving has a lot of people scared. So the leading Bitcoin miners right now are the T21, S21 from Bitmain. A lot of people are having a lot of problems with the S21. I have two, one of them broke. My MicroBT What's miner, M60S has been much better. By the way, if you don't know this, ASIC Marketplace is a sponsor of the VoskCoin YouTube channel. We've got a link below if you want to grab one, but I love miners. I research it for myself, my own mining farm. We talk about it a lot here on the channel. But more importantly, punch in the code VoskCoin to save yourself some coin. It's the best discount you can get. It beats the one on their homepage. And if you're specifically ordering the KS0 Pro, there's a different code, VoskKS0, to get the best deal on that one. So, that's a quick crash course on that stuff. Starknet, right? They completed their airdrop. We had the video. We talked about it. If you followed along on our Starknet airdrop hunting videos, you probably were eligible for that. Depending on your eligibility level, you probably gain, $1,000+ of free cryptocurrency. Pretty cool. What's notable here, though, is that they have attained a $1.3 billion market cap. And if this really is the beginning of the bull run, right? Bitcoin rips, then altcoins rip even harder, and then they dump mega hard. And Bitcoin is going to sustain a high price, generally forever now, because it's in ETFs. It's literally in retirement portfolios, right? We've seen an uptick in marketing in crypto. The projects are all recognizing the market sentiment, the shift, the interest, right? We reviewed Chain GPT, an AI project that's done pretty well over the last 30 days, up 97% a couple of days ago. We just reviewed Vault, which is a much smaller market cap, right? Up 15%. You may have seen this. I just want to touch on it real quick. It's kind of funny. There's the Influencer Fight Club, right? And their work to get BitBoy out there punching people. You know, I just want to show you the footage. If you haven't seen it already, if you've been a little disconnected or, you know, frequent with things like crypto Twitter. I mean, here's a glimpse of that. I mean, homeboy's got the crazy eyes. A lot of anger in that heart. Speaking of sponsors and fighting, this is another bullish sign, is we have a sponsor for today's video, which is RTF Ready to Fight. So you can check the timestamps below, and we're gonna run through this real quick. As always, remember to check the timestamps below and the links in the video description. But let's look at Ready to Fight, right? Boxing community. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to, you know, either build or capitalize on the growing influencer fighting, especially as that's bleeding into cryptocurrency now. You know, just, you know, for whatever it's worth, it's interesting. They have a focus on a social network, right? The first boxing social network. They already have merch, and if you don't know, merch is huge in these industries, especially like the UFC. Merch is a key piece of that business. Their team members and ambassadors have normally backgrounds in the boxing or MMA industries. Their app is already out on Apple and Android. They have their merch is already out on their merch site. They have 20 different ambassadors and advisors, and these roles are going to be critical for a business like this, because they basically need, you know, to have an existing audience with that is their target audience, and tell them that they're using this and why, and like, what's the benefit? What does this do? What problem does this solve? Why do I care? Why do I want to download that? Why do I want to use that? The most interesting thing to me personally, right? You see social network and utility token. They have their own cryptocurrency token, the RTF token. And this token is supposed to be used for a personal brand boost, right? Foster and monetize yourself. You can pay with it, and they want you to trade. And they say, right, we couldn't say this here in the USA, it's not financial advice, trading the upside. They say you can trade it into any other cryptocurrency easily. So this was a funny tweet. I haven't fact checked this, but LOL WTF, one of the core engineers at EigenLayer is 16. The security of over 8 billion Ethereum is in the hands of a literal teenager. So let's look at EigenLayer. If you don't know, EigenLayer is basically a staking solution for Ethereum. And it's become so popular, at least with what they've been able to build so far. Liquid restaking deposits are consistently paused and only reopened for limited times, and that's driving a big FOMO thing here. But just a quick note on that. Hot off the press for Chia would be a bit of an update about proof of space from Bram, who is a pretty critical guy in the Chia cryptocurrency ecosystem. If you don't follow it, they're gonna have to do a hard fork to new proof of space format at some point. The fundamental reason that GPUs, graphics cards, are so fast they can grind table 1, which is the basis for all the more extreme forms of compression. Nothing concrete yet. Probably more than just tweaking table 1 difficulty. Other anti-compression changes as well. But switching from Cha-Cha 8 to Cha-Cha 8000 is going to be a key part of that. So if you're in that ecosystem, this is going to be relevant to you. Saw this post, Hashforce, pretty cool, man. So this is a 2080 watt solar setup. And man, I get solar envy when I see all this stuff. I cannot wait to turn my focus to all the solar stuff. 8 RX 6600 miners, full-time net metering. Basically that means, you know, you generate power and it goes into the grid and then you pull it back out. The electrical grid acts as your battery bank, basically, just if you're unfamiliar with that. So he bought these for about $100 each, deep in the bear market. The mining case was $150 shipped. So he's into his GPU mining rig for basically $1,000, and he's into his solar setup for about $620. So, he's into his whole project here for about $1,600. Pretty cool, generating all the power it needs. And if you're making your own electricity, I mean, at some point you break even, right? You pay off the solar panels. At some point you break even, you pay off the GPU mining rig or other, Bitcoin mining rig or insert whatever. And then it's just like you live in life on a cheat code. This is the closest thing, us plebs can ever get to a money printer like the governments have. So this isn't the latest news, but it's something that we haven't really talked about much on the channel yet. And I want to bring it up again. Uniswap ripped upwards in price, 75% on a single day. And this is because they started distributing fees to the Uni holders. This is crazy because Uniswap is traded on major US cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase. We're all thinking that Coinbase had a big win in court that we haven't really seen many details on yet. If Uniswap does it especially, we're going to see the door absolutely fly open, okay, for every decentralized exchange in this category to basically be greenlit to redistribute some of the earnings to the token holders, quite literally incentivizing, right, holding, right? I mean, Uniswap does so much volume. Uniswap has that first mover advantage. Uniswap is the leader in decentralized exchanges. Uniswap has expanded to many different cryptocurrency chains that you may not even know or be familiar with, which really helps them just continue to try and build and assert their dominance. This is the Altair mining PDU. We've talked about this before, and you may remember me laughing and talking. I repeat the same line. You can grab this for about $100 shipped if you use the VoskCoin code, and it supports the channel. And while this is great for people with 240 voltage, this miner contraption is such a cool development. It should really just have a tagline under it. Now anyone can mine Bitcoin anywhere themselves with owning the freaking miner. All right, so the Bitmain Antminer S19K Pro 115 terahash, very popular model right now. It's kind of like the last hurrah of the S19 series. So basically for $2,000, they modify it and downclock it, and it pretty much hashes at about half the speed. It hashes at a little bit less than half the power. It's 53 decibels, which is quiet, and it has a high efficiency rating of 23 joules a terahash, or basically 23 watts a terahash. But here's like the kicker. It has a Wi-Fi adapter built on the side. So the other Bitcoin miners, generally speaking, don't have any sort of Wi-Fi support out of the box. This plugs into 110 voltage outlet. Okay, you can plug this in probably anywhere in your house. Most circuits, if nothing else is on them, should probably be able to handle 1,200 watts. Obviously, double check that so you're doing everything safe. But this thing is cool. I love to see a product like this come to market. I bring this up specifically because I just plugged mine in yesterday. Pretty cool. Kind of seeing it in person, it's more interesting and unique than it may seem like on video or pictures or whatever. Spent a lot of time overclocking miners, especially our Kaspa miners. Kaspa's putting out over $2 million a day in newly mined coins right now. Gold Shell, rumors circulating that they're about to drop their Kaspa miners. I've heard that the box miners are going to come out first, but they also have teased that they have a bigger, large-scale miner, like their normal, just industrial series, whatever you want to call them, normal-looking ASIC miners. The rumors circulating about that is 10.5 terahash a second and very efficient. So could totally compete and trade blows with the other existing miners that are out there. So as always, everything's always crazy and rapidly developing in cryptocurrency. I've got a lot on my mind. Been just working through a lot of things over the last couple years, good and bad. But I'm trying to take a deep breath right now and just be happy and appreciate that in general the cryptocurrency market is trending upwards pretty quickly. It really just validates a lot of things that we've been working on. Did I believe this would happen eventually? Absolutely. But the relief when it actually starts to happen is a great thing. If you've been in cryptocurrency this whole period, if you've survived the crypto bear market, seriously, dude, pat yourself on the back, or lady. Right? Here's a Good job, attaboy. I don't know. That was lame. I'm sorry, I attaboyed you. Unless you liked it. I'm totally freaking melting, fumbling, crumbling here. The point here being, though, right, is this is an exciting time. This is when the normies, the no coiners will start texting you and saying, hey, dude, should I get into crypto now? And that is a signal of the beginning of the true parabolic bull run, or some people call it like, the stage 2 or 3 of a several stage cryptocurrency bull run. We are up huge against the lows on most cryptocurrencies, or major cryptocurrencies, blue chip cryptocurrencies. Or maybe I shouldn't say many, some, right? Obviously Bitcoin. The future looks bright, and sure, we may take a couple detours here and there, but it's honestly kind of wild to see these prices and this market movement and momentum prior to the Bitcoin halving, because normally, statistically, the data, historically, this happens post halving, right? So we'll see where it goes. Remember, don't get too much FOMO, but you don't want to be living on the sidelines either. So that's all I got. We're going to close it out with 10 seconds of tails, our cutie pup Dogecoin. And hey, shout out to all the Dogecoin miners. She is our CDMO, our chief Dogecoin miner here at VoskCoin. So I'll see you later.